All right, let's roll on to the next spot on the board, and we head back to Frankfurt Stadium in Frankfurt, Germany. 47 Fahrenheit, light rain, 6 miles per hour for the Indianapolis Colts at New England Patriots. Take a look at the line history here for this one. We have on the spread. We'll touch on the spread and the money line here because this is the spot where Troy and I are on opposite sides. New England opened up here at +2. They're now +1 at -101 with very little VIG. I didn't take the points. I took the +108 money line, and it is best at Pinnacle at +108, +105 at MyBookie, +100 at Bet365. This opened up at +113, and this got down to -101 yesterday at 2:19 p.m. And then there was buyback on the Colts. So the Colts opened up -127, got up to -130, and then went down to -111. And that's when the buyback came in, just 10 cents of buyback. We get over to the total here for this spot. We're sitting at 43. 43, that's where it opened to under 43 -104. It's there right now. There was a time when this over 43 got juiced up to -120, but it's back. It's at -112. It opened up at -110, so not a lot of movement there. Let's get over to the cash flow then for this spot. You have 69% of the tickets and 70% of the cash on the Colts, and you have 90% of tickets and 89% cash on the under. So you'll hear two sides of the equation here on this one. You'll hear why I am on the Patriots, and you will hear why Troy is on the Colts. I find this game very similar to the Colts game last week, where you were buying the Colts very low and selling the Panthers very high. And I said is it that simple? Is it that simple? And I still was unable to pull the trigger on the Colts. I'm on the other side here. I do believe, and at this point, we have the perfect amount of stats, I feel, to analyze the situation appropriately. I think there's parts of this Patriots team that are good. And we know what that is, red zone defense and red zone offense. And we'll talk more about that. Now, you could say, well, they never get in the red zone offensively. And then that's a fair thing to say. But I think after the Colts look good against the Panthers, despite putting up just 190 yards, that we are selling them high and buying the Patriots low. Colts coming off snapping their 3-game losing streak in an important 27-13 win at Carolina. They had allowed 114 points in their previous 3 games, and the Colts defense was strong. They intercepted Bryce Young 3 times, sacked him 4 times, hit him 7 times. 2 of those interceptions were returned by 4 scores by Kenny Moore. They're ranked 13th in third down defense, allowing first downs 37.88% of opponent opportunities. Their red zone the third down defense. Yes, their red zone defense is bad, 25th in the league. They allow touchdowns 63% of the time. And they're 25th in the league, allowing 125.6 yards per game on the ground. And this is the biggest angle for me, is that this Colts defense can get gashed on the ground, and Ramondre Stevenson has got to roll in this game. And maybe Zeke, even though Zeke hasn't shown us much. But that, to me, is my biggest advantage in this football game, is the Patriots ground game going up against the Colts ground defense. Minshew was 17-26 for 127 yards and a touchdown. He didn't try to do too much. More importantly, he didn't turn the ball over, but he wasn't forced into situations that if he's bad, if they're losing, then we know what Minshew does. He throws interceptions. He runs with the ball out in the open for fumble opportunities. Pittman led receivers with 8 catches for 64 yards. Jonathan Taylor ran 18 times for 47 yards, caught 5 passes for 22 yards and a touchdown. The offense finished with just 198 total yards. 3rd round pick in this year's draft, wide receiver Josh Downs hurt his knee. He's questionable this week. 2nd round pick Juju Brents is questionable with a quad injury. Cornerback Tony Brown is in concussion protocol. Tight end Drew Ogletree left the game with a foot injury, and Zaire Franklin, important linebacker, is questionable this week. The Patriots coming off a 2017 home loss to the Washington Commanders. Of course, I was very confident with Washington. I watched that whole game. New England now 2-7 for Belichick's first season, for the first time since Belichick's first season as coach. They're 0-5 in non-division games, the only team in the NFL without a win outside of their division. Mac Jones threw an interception on the Commanders' 41 with 30 seconds left to seal the game, but that was his only turnover. 24-44 for 220 yards and a touchdown interception. Look, it's not fun to have a bet where he's the quarterback of your football team. Like, I'm not sitting here going, sit back and watch what Mac Jones is going to do. But, we know Kendrick Bourne out for the season. Devontae Parker dealing with concussion protocol. Demario Douglas looked good enough for me. 5 catches for 55 yards. Juju Smith-Schuster, 6 catches for 51 yards. And again, it's Ramondre Stevenson. He has to be the best player on the field for me to win this bet. And I think it's possible against this Colts defense. He ran 9 times for 87 yards and a touchdown, caught 4 for 42. They need to run the ball down the Colts' throat to win this. This defense bent but didn't break. They allowed the Commanders to put up 432 yards. Look, I like the Commanders' offense, and I've doubled up in overs in the Commanders-Seahawks game, and we'll talk about it when it comes. They couldn't stop the Commanders on third down, and in turn, they couldn't get them off the field. The Commanders were 9-17 on third down, held on to the ball for 37 minutes and 10 seconds. It's rare to see the Pats so bad on third down. They're 17th in the league, allowing opponents to convert 39.7% of the time. And Indianapolis isn't good on third down. I mean, they're 18th in the league, converting third down 39.2% of the time. Washington is not good on third down, which scares me. Washington's not good on third down. They're 24th in the league, and the Pats made them look really good. But Jawan Bentley was all over the field. 13 tackles, 2 sacks. Kyle Duggar had an interception. The Patriots remained in the game because of their excellent red zone play. They were just 1 for 1 in the red zone. They're 4th in the league, scoring touchdowns 66.7% of the time, and they can't get there enough. And defensively, they held the Commanders to just 1 of 4 in the red zone. They're 5th in the league in red zone defense, allowing touchdowns 43.8% of the time, and the Commanders have a very good red zone offense. I think it's the red zone that's going to cash me my bet. Now let's hear the other side of this spot because Troy and I are heads up. Take it away, Troy. Frankfurt Stadium, Frankfurt, Germany, Colts, Patriots.
This is a good breakdown, Jimmy. It really is. And it's like I just read that when you posted your action, you had this on there. I just couldn't believe my eyes just because of how you hammered, you've been cashing against the Pats all season. But for as many good games as there were on the card last week, there's as many bad games this week. Colts smashed the Panthers, and it was on the back of 2 defensive touchdowns. I mean, it really wasn't impressive. Offensively, after the scripted plays, they kind of went blank. The scripted plays are the first few possessions, depending on how many plays you run. But I'm telling you, after the first 3 possessions, here's the sequence. They had a field goal and 4 consecutive punts. That's how they finished the game offensively. So it was good seeing Minshew execute offensively the scripted plays, but still at the same time, how impressive is the offense after, the first quarter? It wasn't impressive at all. And people thought this offense was moving after they hanging 40 points on Cleveland. And like I said, 75% of that production came from 3 plays, 2 of which were neutral zone infraction by Myles Garrett, where he jumped off sides. It was a free play. He threw his hands up, didn't even rush the passer. Minshew just threw a pass down the field on a defense that was unprepared. So, yeah, I get it. Like this, it was not impressive, I feel like, what they did last week. And this Panthers defense is rated 29th per PFF. So it was kind of confusing seeing what happened in that game. So I had to go back and watch. But it's easy to slow down. At the same time, when you get a massive lead, they put up 20 points in the second quarter. They're up 20-0 in the blink of an eye. And when that happens, you see a lot of teams let off the start hitting on the brakes a little bit and get a lot more conservative with the play calling and with how they approach the game in general. Defensively, these 2 teams are currently, I would say evenly matched. I would give the Colts a slight edge based on what I'm seeing on PFF. And the Patriots, I mean, let's talk about them. I mean, it's ugly, right? I mean, they lost the Commanders as 3-point favorites. Take away 1 long run by Ramondre Stevenson, the offense looks a lot worse in terms of yard per play and efficiency numbers. Commanders had their way with the Patriots on third down, like you're kind of talking about that a little bit. I mean, it's bad, this team on third down this year. Mac Jones posted one of his highest grades this season per PFF, and that consisted of a 50% completion rate, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and a 29.5 QBR. That's a complete embarrassment what Mac Jones has been. Offensively, I think the Colts have a better offense. I think they have the edge. Defensively, I give the edge to the Colts. I do think they can get gashed on the ground, but this Pats offense hasn't been gashing people on the ground. They're 25th in the NFL in yards per attempt. Situationally, I give the edge to the Colts. They still have something to play for. I feel like the Patriots are dead in the water. You think they're looking forward to going to England after knowing they're not going to make the playoffs? They don't like the QB they play for, and I can't blame them for it. They have 1 rookie on defense, 1 rookie on offense, and everyone else has an NFL tenure of at least 3 years, most of which are well over 4 years. Because I bring that up because I'm saying that, like, rookie, teams that are really bad, if you have a bunch of rookies and guys who are trying to, solidify themselves in the NFL are going to play their ass off. They're going to work hard. They're going to still have that team camaraderie, in my opinion, because it's a must if you want to be signed to an NFL roster. However, I don't think the Pats really have that going in their. It's not really in their wheelhouse at this point. I'm on the Colts -1, and you brought it up, Jimmy. It doesn't really apply to this game, the reverse line movement. And the reason why is because the home road dichotomy, when it's in London, it's really hard to tell what's going on based on the way I have my database set up. So I really have nothing up from the database on this, but it's really, I'm playing the spot situationally, thinking that the Patriots are not looking forward to this game. And I think the Colts get the job done. So I took the Colts -1, and I would actually be pretty damn interested if the at -115, if it got down to a pick 'em, I might be on the money. I was thinking I'd be on the money line. Now seeing that you on the Patriots, you had a good breakdown too, Jimmy. I mean, nothing's easy when it comes to this, this game we play with the bookies. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and you're great. Breakdown great as well here. And you were mentioning, London, but we know this isn't Germany. This one.
Oh, Germany, right?
But it's all good. But man, I feel like this is a great opportunity for the Patriots, and I actually, and I could be wrong, but I think getting off of the continent is a breath of fresh air for the Patriots. Getting
Feels
to Europe,
like just getting away from their home field has been a breath of fresh air for the Patriots, to be honest.
but I really do, because sure they're 2-7, but they're superstars over here in Frankfurt, Germany, and I think it will be kind of nice to get out of the way, get away from North America and from the media and from all of that. I'm excited. We have cappers on either side of the game in the chat, and again, Troy and I going heads up, and this has happened very rarely, almost never pre. It's happened once we've got to Sunday, but it's never happened on a Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it ever has.
Yeah.
And what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I was looking at Bill Belichick's record overseas as well, or out of the States, I guess I should say. I mean, it's ridiculous. This man has won and won by margin. Now, a lot of those games are, not recent games, but still something to be noted. Bill Belichick has his team ready to play when they go across the pond.
Troy and I are heads up here, and I'll get have Troy's action up here to review it. But Troy is on the Colts, and I am on the Patriots.